Welcome back, fitness lovers, CrossFitters, family, friends. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you can keep up to date with everything I put out on the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the last two vlogs, one with John Champion and one with Christy Bishop, who both placed top 10 within the Oceania region after the quarterfinals. So what I want to talk about today is two things. I want to talk about the leaderboard that Morning Chalk Up released after the quarterfinals, if they were to rank everyone against each other and a couple of Aussies and where they placed. And then I want to also have a quick chat about the semi-finals seeding update, which we have seen Tia Claire Toomey, who can't come to Australia for the Touring Pro, is now competing in person at the MidAtlantic CrossFit Challenge in Kentucky. All right, so let's have a look at this leaderboard. So what Morning Chalk Up has done is they've ranked each of the athletes across the regions from the quarterfinals against each other, and they've come up with a leaderboard that shows the top 38 after. Now this is a hypothetical. Obviously these people aren't yet going to the games, however it gives us a good idea of who could potentially be going to the games. Now it's quite interesting to see on the female side, Tia Claire Toomey is in first place. Then following just behind her is Oceania's Cara Saunders. This is an incredible feat considering that she has just come back from having her baby Scotty. We all know how close she was to coming first at the CrossFit Games in 2017 against Tia, and then obviously taking time off to have a baby and refocus. So that was incredible to see. I wanted to point out in 20th place is Laura Clifton. Now Laura Clifton, she's actually from New Zealand, but she's based obviously in Oceania. She does live in Australia. She has placed 20th on the overall leaderboard, if that was a leaderboard to go off. Now, I met Laura maybe close to 2 years ago, and to see what she's achieved over the last couple of years has just been nothing but outstanding. She definitely puts in the hard work, and I believe that Laura is someone that we really need to watch in the sport, as she's an up and coming athlete. And ACC, she was right behind Cara the whole time, which was great to see. So I'm definitely excited to see what Laura does this year. So she'll be competing at Touring Pro. She trains under 64 Army. Their programming, which is a New Zealand based company, and it's going to be phenomenal to see how she goes. Alright, so it's a little bit different on the men's side. So after the quarterfinals in Australia, we had Jay Crouch, then Calm Porter, then Baden Brown. Now, when they were ranked against other people, and obviously would have added different placings to where they finished, it actually finished with Calm Porter in 14th, Baden Brown in 17th, and then Jay Crouch in 22nd. So Jay Crouch actually dropped down a little bit from his first place finish on the Australian leaderboard, on the Oceania leaderboard. So that was quite interesting to note. Obviously this is only hypothetical. However, there was less of a point distance difference when Calm Porter was put up against everyone else, and same with Baden Brown. I do think that Jay Crouch is going to really put a little bit of a fire through the Touring Pro this year, and while we've seen the talks with Brendan Swan, I know that Swanee's won it the last 2 times. However, I believe this could be Jay Crouch's year. He's a great athlete. After watching him at ACC, he's very controlled and very calm, and he's a phenomenal athlete, and with someone like Rob Forte in his corner, we're going to see amazing things come from him. Alright, so the only other thing I wanted to talk about was semi-final seeding update. So as I mentioned, it's just been recently announced that some of those athletes who couldn't come back to their region are now going to be seeded into a different region. Now, Tia Claire Toomey, as we know, she lives in the US. Okay, she's qualified for the semifinals through the Oceania. However, she has been extended an invitation to compete at the MidAtlantic CrossFit Challenge on the 28th to 30th of May in Kentucky. So Tia is going to be competing there. Now, that's great. She gets to do an in-person competition, which would be great for her to get that in-person competition out before the CrossFit Games happens. However, what I'm curious to know is, so obviously 5 people go from that. Now, we all know that most likely Tia is going to come first. Okay, so in Australia, we all knew that she would most likely come first if she was here in the Oceania region. And then 2 people would go after that. Now, in the Oceania region, 3 people will now go from our qualifiers. But then in the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge, usually 5 people would go from that region. But if Tia comes, say, first or up to 5th, then the person who came 6th place is going to miss out. So are they going to change the numbers? I do know that they are adding on a number for a person who gets a second chance. So it'll be up to 9th place who goes to the second chance. However, that means that 6th place person who would have came 5th if Tia wasn't there, they now have to fight again to get back into the game. So they have to go and battle it out against everyone else who came 5th through to, or 6th through to 10th in that last catch-all qualifier. So it'll be very interesting to see how that all pans out over the next few months. Alright, so that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for following the channel. Don't forget, make sure you like and subscribe. Give us some love, drop some comments down in the bottom, and we'll get back to you guys. Thanks.